Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison, and today we have Wanted 45 on 937 rating versus Chris K on 1190 rating. So Chris K is quite deep into the top 100 and Wanted sitting just outside of it, but has been a top 100 player before. So opening hands are Sangan, Emma's Blade, Solemn, Creature Swap, Emma's Blade, so X-Sabers, Creature Swap's pretty cool. Mirror Force, Prisma, Compulse, Book, MST and Waboku, so probably Glads with the Waboku, but we'll find out. So Wanted going to start off with a set Book pass, pick up for turn there is D Prison. They're just going to set an Emma's Blade, set the D Prison, set the Solemn and pass, pick up for turn there is Trap Stun, okay. Set MST, set Trap Stun, pass, pick up for turn is Full Helm Knight, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Full Helm Knight coming out, going to flip the Emma's Blade, yeah. You got a tuner and a non-tuner here. What do you want to do? Gonna Book a Moon that. Yeah, and pass. Chooses not to get in with the Emma's Blade. I'm assuming they're worried about D Prison because yeah, they've got another bow, so maybe should have taken the opportunity. Pick up a turn there is Solemn. Gonna think. MST. Gonna hit the Solemn there. Prisma coming down now, and that's gonna get in to the Full Helm Knight, or try to. D Prison, Trap Stun, and then Full Helm Knight's going to go to Grave. Okay. Main 2, yeah, feels like at this point you might start dumping just in case, but I guess you want to leave monsters in deck. Wow, I'm going to set all four, so this is Waboku, Compulse, Mirror Force, and Solemn. They're going to pass, pick up his Brain Con. Okay, they're going to Creature Swap now. This is cool. They're going to try and bounce back the Emma's Blade. That's going to be successful. Cards aren't going to swap. They're going to set the Emma's Blade and pass. Pick up a turn there is Cold Wave. Just going to pass. Yeah, they've seen an Emma's Blade. They don't really want to be attacking into this. Pick up a turn there is Giant Rat. Okay. I had no idea X-Saber's played this. Set the Sangan now. Pass. I guess yeah, I guess it gets Earth stuff. Pick up for turn is D Prison. I'm going to set the D Prison, pass. Mind Con, pick up for turn now. Okay. Yeah, just going to pass. Draws Book. Sets Book, passes. Mirror Force for turn. Okay, going to get the Emma's Blade up and in now. That's going to get me with a D Prison. That's a bit unfortunate. They're going to set the other Emma's Blade, set the Mirror Force and pass. Draw for turn is Chariot. Chariot's pretty good. They're still not seen a Glad Beast yet though. Set is Raikou, pass, pick up his D Prison. God damn. They're 12 cards in and they've not seen a Glad Beast. This is crazy. Yeah, they're going to start dumping them now, which is good. I think that's the right thing to be doing, especially because it's going to put Chariot online. They're going to try and get into the Raikou. That's going to get met with a Mirror Force, going to get met with a Book. They're going to set the D Prison, pass, draw a Cyber Dragon. That's interesting. Okay, so Chris K going to think here. Yeah, they're going to take out the Monster Mill, then Air Bellum, 2 Air Bellums and a Creature Swap. Going to flip the Emma's Blade now. Going to try and get in for some damage. That's going to get me with another D Prison. Wow, that is 2 for 2 on the Emma's Blades being D Prisoned. Which is exactly what it feels like they were playing around by not attacking previously. Going to set the Giant Rat now. Pass, pick up his Waboku. Pass, pick up his Compulse. Raikou going to get in now. Sets the Compulse, passes, pick up his Secutor, sorry. So the only Glad Beast that doesn't tag is the pickup. Brilliant. They're going to try and beat over the Raikou now, and this does put the Chariot online, so it's not too bad leaving it face up even though it's so weak. They're going to flip the Giant Rat, flip the Sangan now. Going to start getting in. Oh, big things. Yeah, going to Mirror Force now, but that is... Yeah, so Sangan then going to get met with the Chariot. Unfortunate. Cyber Dragon coming out now. They're going to set the Bottomless and pass. So just as a reminder, the sets here are Bottomless and Compulse. This side is Waboku and Solemn. Pick up for turn, there was Bottomless. They're just going to set it, pass. Troll, pick up for turn now. A bit late, but you know, it might come in handy later. Joris Test Tiger. Oh, God. Wanted cannot draw a Glad to save his life. Okay, Chris picking up got his emergency call there. Yeah, obviously it's not something you can use just yet. Gonna get in with the Cyber Dragon now. Set the emergency call pass. Finally, 18 cards in. Wanted. Finally draws a Gladiator beast that can actually tag. And it's the quest. Okay. Nice. Right. Yeah, I think so I think you start Cold Wave. I think you definitely start Cold Wave. Cold Wave, Quest, Test Tiger it for Mamillo, attack, probably tag back into the Quest and then pick up the Chariot. But let's see what Wanted decides to do. Yeah, they're going to go Cold Wave. Okay, Chris K is going to choose to bounce back the Cyber Dragon. I think that's good. I think that's a good play. You're probably not going to die this turn, and it is a good card to keep in hand against Glads. And now you don't have to use the Test Tiger, although you're not going to be able to tag out into the Quest. You're going to have to pick something else. They're going to pick a Laquari, so they can at least battle with the Cyber Dragon. Pick up for turn there is Hamster. Cyber Dragon going to come out now. You know, you're fine with crashing if you're Chris. Yeah, I think the play there is, yeah, you can't use any of these back row. I think the play maybe wasn't this. I think maybe it was still use Test Tiger, tag out for Bestiari, pop one of the back rows, attack, trade out for the Quest, pick up the Laquari in the grave, or pick up the Chariot maybe. Okay. Because I just think even though you're putting up a 2100 monster, you're still just getting beaten over by the Cyber Dragon that you watch them put back to hand. I don't think that's a good trade of resources, basically. Sets the Hamster, passes, draws the other Test Tiger, passes. Okay, Galahad pick up for turn now. They can start potentially making X-Saber plays. Okay, Hamster, set the Raikou, going to try and get in. Yeah, Chris is going to try and win here without ever having to use a Glad Beast, X-Saber. Okay, pick up for turn there is Airbellum. Raikou going to hit the Solemn, that's a good hit. Mills the Rescue Cat, unfortunately. Although it probably is spent now that we've seen 2 Raikous and 3 Airbellums. Galahad, normal summon out. It's going to try and get in. Waboku coming down now. Saber Call. Yep. Yes, this is a Catasta. Catasta's good, but that's going to get met by Bottomless. Then Foal Troll coming out now. Foal Troll bringing back the Airbellum. Going to use the Airbellum to make a Gotham's. Gotham's going to use Galahad to get rid of Book. Then make Urbellum. Then use Urbellum to get rid of Test Tiger. Pass, draw for turn is Heavy Storm. Yeah, would you get rid of the Airbellum? I guess the thing about going against Glads is that they always need 2 cards, right? I mean, the deck is one of the top in Edison, but it always needs 2 cards. So I think that's kind of fine. Sets the Test Tiger to survive. Sets the Heavy Storm. They do have the Waboku though. So they're going to mind control the Test Tiger. Going to try and get in now. That's going to get another Waboku. Test Tiger. Yeah, god damn. Test Tiger. Flip. Urbellum coming down. Foal Troll coming down. Bringing out Full Helm Knight. Yeah, using the Test Tiger for the Brio. And passing. Pick up for turn is Chariot. Yeah. They can Heavy Storm, they can set the Chariot, but this one's over. Nice. Nice, very nice. As soon as you see the kind of X-Saber stuff get rolling, it's really hard to come back from. Okay. Opening hands this game are Book, Galahad, Rescue Cat, Airbellum, and Equal. Prisma, Book, Waboku, Rescue Cat as well. Test Tiger and Trap Hole. Okay. Battle of the Cat decks, let's see it. So we're gonna start with set. Trap Hole, set Book of Moon. Pick up for turn is Sangan. Airbellum going to get Trap Hole. They're just going to set the Book and pass. Okay. Deep Prism pick up for turn. Prisma going to get in now. That's fine. They're going to set the Deep Prism and pass. Pick up for turn there is Airbellum. Okay. Yeah, they really want to. They've got to do something to get around this Book, but they've got Rescue Cat, Foal Troll. Yeah, they've got stuff they can do here. Galahad coming down now, just going to try and get over. That's going to get him over the D prison. Pass, draw is a quest. Going to get in with the Prisma. Yeah, they're playing quite heavily around TT and Mirror Force now. I think I'd have fired the cat by now. Fired the cat, tagged out into a Bestiari. You know, gone from there. Taken out this. And just gone from there. Okay, pick up for turn is Emma's Blade. I think Glads are playing it a bit too slow here. Rescue Cat coming down now. Airbellum. Airbellum. Yep, gonna book a moon one of them. Yeah, makes sense. Gonna set the E-Call. And the face-up one's gonna go. Prisma's a draw for turn here. Yeah, come on, you gotta fire the cat now. Okay, just gonna go battle phase. Get over the Airbellum. Pass. I think the worry for me... So, I understand why Wanted is playing this way. They're playing conservatively, they're playing around the back row, they're just going to try and grind you out and win, knowing that their deck over like a long period of time is going to likely be the victor. But giving X-Sabers time to like set up just feels so wrong, right? It does, because right now you've got, you know, you've got emergency cooldown, you've got like X-Sabers in the hand you can summon, you've set it up so you've got 3 engrave. Like this just, it feels like you shouldn't be giving Glads this much, shouldn't be giving X-Saber, sorry, this much time. So E-Cool going off with the Emma's Blade. Foal Troll coming out now. Gonna bring out the other Airbellum. Gonna use 2 of these to make a High and Lie. That's gonna try and get rid of the back row, reveal it's Wabaku. Gonna make a Gothams now. Gothams get rid of the Airbellum. Gonna hit the Test Tiger. Gonna pass it over. Draw for turn is Darius now. Okay, Prisma gonna dump the Bestiari. Yeah, this is rough. This is rough. Cat coming out now. Gonna bring out Sam Knight and Test Tiger. I think you have to ask if prio, and then you have to book. Yeah. No, it's just it's just rough. I think you had to ask for Test Tiger prio there, and then I think you had to book the Prisma, which was the Bestiari. They could then tag out for something, but it wouldn't have been the Darius. And I guess Chris doesn't know that, because Chris can't see the hand. They don't know that Darius is in hand. Okay, yeah. I think maybe holding it is fine then. Yeah, so guys are just going to go after both, and then you're going to book a moon it. Yep. Only got 1500 defense, so actually Cyber Dragon quite a pickup. Cyber Dragon coming down now, full Helm Knight as well. Going to get over the Geyserus. Going to get over the Test Tiger. And we're going to Synchro now. Synchro for Stardust and pass. Pick up his Compulse. Wow. Get us around Stardust. That's rough. That is rough. Okay, Darius Compulse down. Pick up his Raikou. Set the Raikou now. Choosing not to go into the Darius, which I think is fine. Although, how many Wabakus have we seen? I don't know, we've only seen one Wabaku. Okay, yeah. I think it's fine that you choose not to go into the Darius. Wanted gonna think. They're gonna bring out the Laquari. Raikou's gonna hit the back row. Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. So the mills there were equal, Full Helm Knight and Smashing Ground. If you're Chris, you're looking at this really positively, I think. Okay, bringing out a quest. Gonna add the Bestiari back. Draw for turn is Emma's Blade. Okay, that's good. You don't really want to be crashing with Glads, but that is good. Doesn't set the Sangan now. Okay, pick up for turn there is Retiari. Yeah, this is getting a little bit out of hand now. Chris is going to have to do something if they want to win this one. Battle phase, they're going to get over this quest now. Sets the Mirror Force and passes. Pick up his Dust Shoot. Let's see if Chris manages to stay under that. Pick up his Bottomless. They're going to get in to the Retiari now. Set the Bottomless and pass. Pick up his Cold Wave. Yep. Pick up his creature swap now. Okay, this is quite cool. They're just going to get into the quest instead. They're going to pass. Draw for turn is trap stun. They're going to set that. Oh, okay, Chris, now you're getting trap dust shooted. They're not getting trap dust shooted. Okay. Okay, you can't imagine they're going to get up to 4 again, though. I think you had to trap dust shoot there. Okay. Pick up his Mirror Force. Yeah, Bestiary coming out now. That's going to get met with a Bottomless. That's going to get met with a Trap Stun. Battle Phase. They're going to try and get over the Emma's Blade. That's going to be successful. That's going to bring out another Emma's Blade. Going to tag out now. Tags out for Darius. Darius can revive the Geysirus. And then they're going to set the Mirror Force. Okay. Passing over. Draws MST now. Trap Dust Shoot now. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. So that sequence is a bit unfortunate for Chris. If Chris is very high rated, very good player, no problems with that. But I think if your opponent has back row, you're drawing into 4. I think you priority draw phase MST. Just don't give them a chance to trap dust shoot you. That's just how I've always thought that interaction works out best. But yeah, they did make it to standby phase there. So they're going to creature swap, take the Geysirus, get in with the Stardust, get in with the Emma's Blade. Yeah, I was going to say that Geysirus is actually shuffled. Sangan adds them the one I can't pronounce. And they're going to pass. Pick up for turn there is Laquari. Yeah. I think wanted spot in there. Their misplays. I think in this. Yeah, and they're going to scoop it up now. Okay, wow, what a game. So what do I have to say about this one? So this looks like the pretty standard Glad Beast deck, right? There was nothing like that spicy we saw in it apart from the lack of drawing a Glad Beast in game 1, which was rough to watch. But yeah, it looks pretty standard. I think Wanted played well. I think there's a couple of things I took issue with, but I think if they watched it back, they would also maybe reconsider some of the plays, as we all do whenever we watch any of our own replays back. So yeah, I think really good display of Glad Beasts. I think they just played a bit too slow this game. That would be my overall takeaway. We can see the back row, so it's not really fair to make that comment. Wanted can't see the back row. They're playing around it. They're being a very diligent defensive player in that regard. But I guess my problem is that's fine to do, and that's what Glads wants to do most of the time, but not when you're up against a deck like X-Sabers, like I don't know, like some of the Frog OTK decks, like Gigavice, where if you keep giving them draw phases, they're eventually going to draw into their big combo, and that's when stuff is going to go sideways for you very quickly. We did sort of see that here when they were doing Fold Troll lines, all that kind of stuff. Chris, I think, played pretty excellently, as always. Really heads up plays. I think they waited in the right places. They made the high on line, which is cool to see. They did kind of like they set up the emergency call with the 2 air bellums. So even though they used the rescue cat and they dropped the monsters that it summoned out, they didn't really get anywhere. They were used later for e-call, so I think that was really cool to see. I think both players really played really well, but there's just this interaction, these 2 decks going back and forth is a very interesting matchup, and that's what I like. I like seeing both of these decks, but I specifically like seeing X-Sabers come up against something that's like a little bit grindy, but has combo potential, and then seeing how they do against that. And I think Chris really displayed well what this deck can do. Really cool to watch. Good lines, good Fold Troll lines. We're seeing more and more of Chris's deck. So we've seen Chris before in X-Sabers. We're seeing most of his deck in this game. So if you want to try and take the list, you can do. But really good to see it. And yeah, I'll try and get some more Saber replays. I think this deck is kind of emerging out of the Rogue kind of tier and into a bit more kind of meta contention. And it's really good to study this. If you've got like top 100 players playing it, that's when you know that actually it can hang at the top. It's really good to see.